watching the number one podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community. And I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean Paul Leck.
And together we are
Rope Break.
And, a little later than usual, but we're right here to talk about NXT, the other show, part of the Wednesday Night Wars. So we're really excited, we're really happy because the build-up for Halloween Havoc started. And, the stipulations, how are they building up the stories are really interesting. They're actually very enticing for everybody that is a fan. So I really like this. NXT always finds ways to keep us interested. Involved, invested in what they do. And that's something that a lot of other, shows in the WWE, AEW, Impact will keep that aside because Impact actually, they know how they're booking. So, we're really excited to see what this is going to turn out to be for Halloween Havoc, and that's going to be like in 2 Wednesdays. So, Jean Paul, excited about this show?
Yeah, it was a solid show. It maybe wasn't as flashy or as enticing as Dynamite. It didn't have all the championship matches. It had the main event, which had the title on the line. But it was a solid show. Like you said, it got us to Halloween Havoc. We got some announcements, some updates. And there was some good stuff on the show tonight.
Yes, exactly. So before we start, thank you so very much, family, to support us in every single one of the outlets that we have, every single one of social media pages, everything. Thank you so very much for all the love, support, comments, and thank you for being part of the family, of the new ones especially. So don't forget, check out, like Jean Paul was saying, AEW Dynamite review right there. First anniversary of Dynamite, all the championships are on the line. Jean Paul even mentioned, well, what about the women's match? Are you gonna have a women's championship match? So the next day, out of nowhere, Hikaru Shida against Big Swole. So interesting show. Not as flashy and as we will say festive as we would thought it was gonna be. But regardless of that, it was a decent show. So check that out, Jean Paul. So now let's go out to our show. Right now, NXT Jean Paul from the Capitol Wrestling Center. So it started out with the Undisputed Era, Mr. Leck, and they cut a promo, kind of saying that they were going to go against Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch because this was going to determine who was going to be the number one contender for the NXT Tag Team Championships. And I think that this promo was good for O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Roderick Strong, just talking about how they want the gold back, they want to fulfill the prophecy one more time, and especially Kyle O'Reilly after his great performance in NXT TakeOver 31. I think that they did a good job on this, Jean Paul.
Yeah, the promo I thought was good, and they're selling the thing with Adam Cole being out. It's not the Rich Holland storyline is done, so they just bring Adam Cole back, and it's almost like O'Reilly's the little fill-in leader right now while Adam Cole's out, so that's kind of cool. But this was good, and we talked about the tag team division being non-existent. Now they're building towards it, but again, our boys done. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. It's they were in this thing, and I thought, okay, here we go. Or, Legado del Fantasma. They weren't in this thing either.
Yeah, no.
We saw them later in the night, but I'd like to see them have tag team gold.
Oh, yeah, it will be different. I see it right there. You see Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish. They're talking to you, Jean Paul. They're saying, no, Jean Paul, it's us.
Yep, they're no, fourth time or fifth time or whatever they are,
the ones that with the more reigns in NXT history because they're the only tag team they even push. And you said, it would have been a lot better if you would have seen, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch winning the match. But in the end, we got the Undisputed Era. A good match. We always say that, these two guys that, they don't look they're not good on the mic, meaning Burch and Oney Lorcan. They only look like wrestlers, but pretty generic. When they start, making superstars in the 2K game.
Yeah, they look like wrestlers out of the 1960s or 50s or something.
Yes, so other than that, like I said, it was a pretty good match on Undisputed Era. I like the fact that now Kyle O'Reilly is not a member in the tag team. Now he's Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish. So he's a new part of the Undisputed Era because the ones that were tag team champs, it was O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. So this was good, and also we got to see Jean Paul Breezango. They were sitting right there, kind of watching the action. They were okay, who's gonna win? Who's gonna be the next team that we're gonna face? And I like that. And in the end, though, the Undisputed Era got the win.
Yeah, and it was a really good match, hard hitting. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, I want them to win, but I feel they're just that team. They're maybe when something happens and the time is right and the stars align, they'll be yeah, we'll put the belts on you for a day and then, you'll lose it. Or we'll put it on you on a Wednesday and then you'll lose it that takeover on Sunday. But, it was a good match, but Undisputed Era, maybe they feel like they're the better matchup, the hotter team. Because even though Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, I feel are a lot of fan favorites, it's how marketable are they as champions? And
See,
it's
right,
not very.
we're looking
So
at you, Jean Paul. It's for you, Jean
yep,
Paul. That's for you. I don't
yep,
care how much you love Lorcan and Birch. We are going to win all the time because we're more marketable. See, Jean Paul, we wear the
yep.
green tights. They don't wear that. So, no, Jean Paul. So, it's just true. I mean, I would love to see, for example, like if they're pushing, Maverick and Killian Dane that we're going to talk about a little later. But
Mm-hmm.
if they're able to, market this team, why don't they do the same with Birch and Lorcan? I don't get it. Maybe
Yeah.
they're a little pissed off about what happened with the injury for Rich Holland. I don't know. So you're gonna get punished a little bit, not a lot, but I don't know. But
Yeah.
in the end, we have number one contenders in them, and they're looking out to Brisango. So this is going to be a match that is actually going to happen next week, Jean Paul. Right there, we have the picture from the Road Break archives. Right there, Brisango and the Undisputed Era next week, and NXT Live, 8 o'clock for Jean Paul and myself to watch, so we can do the review. So this is going to be good. Are you expecting a title change here, Lehek? Because I don't think so. I hope not.
No, I mean I hope that there's another team in maybe a team that debuts. They come and they interfere in the match and they say this is bullshit, like we're taking over. So, I don't know, do something. But I would have saved it for Halloween Havoc. I don't know. You have that show coming up, unless they're gonna do that, and then they do maybe like a triple threat tag team match or something crazy for Halloween Havoc. Because I don't know why you would do this title match now, but we'll
Yeah,
see. I don't
agree.
see a title change though, because to me it would
I
be like
hope not.
okay,
I
yeah.
hope not, because again, the Undisputed Era, they had their time. I don't want to see the New Day 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, I think don't
even,
don't get me wrong. I think they'll have it again soon-ish, but I don't think it's going to be next week.
that soon-ish, not
Yeah.
release.
Yeah,
All right.
really.
Release. Talking about release, we're gonna talk about a girl we would like to release. Or no, we will not. Mackenzie, and she kind of like gave us an update about the Finn Balor situation, and it's pretty much on a day-to-day basis, Jean Paul, because like his jaw was broken in two separate parts, but he got surgery. He's better. It's supposedly the evolution of the injury or like the operation and everything is going well. But we heard the reports. Egg and I always like check like our sources, and they said that like if he doesn't like heal as quick as initially thought, then they're going to strip him of the title, which is kind of like you said, the title will be cursed after
At that point.
But I mean, I hope that they don't do that. But
It's the curse of Lucius, because he should still be your NXT champ.
I know, yeah. Kid Lee is the one that like put the curse, and like Mackenzie pretty much addressed that. I don't know. I hope that it doesn't happen to Finn Balor, because every time that Finn Balor gets goal, he's done.
Yeah, ever since his first NXT title reign, it's been like, bullshit title reigns. But no, I think he'll be good. I hope so anyway. And I know Mackenzie, I like just because it gives a sports feel. I like how they actually show the injury. They showed how his jaw was like screwed shut, had the metal plate on it. And, I pop every time she's like, oh, now back to you guys. Because it makes it seem like a real sports like thing, like ESPN or something.
He's the best reporter, like, because back to you, like, remember what they say after this? We're gonna go back with like a match. I remember after that, Johnny Gargano versus Austin Theory. Like they use it like that. Like that vibe is not just a wrestling show.
Yeah.
I like that. You're absolutely right. Hopefully Finn Balor can keep the title. He deserves it. He fought so hard for that. So hopefully, thanks to Kyle O'Reilly, we don't want to say anything. Things happen. It's a match. Intensity, you're supposed to show that. So I'm not going to blame him, but, that's what happened. Jean Paul, promo by Ember Moon. This promo was really good. I like how she goes well. When I left, this division was not as good as it is right now. This division, Asuka was there, Nikki was there, maybe at some point, the semi-good Iconics, Jean Paul, at some point. But now it's like, in order for me to get Io Shirai, I have to go through Toni Storm, Rhea Ripley, Dakota Kai, Candice LeRae, like Shotzi, all of them. And, not Tegan, because Tegan is right now, unfortunately, an afterthought. But, like, I like this intensity from Ember Moon. When the doctor said, you're clear, all right, let's go back home.
Yeah, this promo was really good, and like you said, you said it to me, I believe it was yesterday, how the main thing you really like on NXT is the women's division, and it's a really stacked division, and she pretty much named all those women, and they're all of them I would say are main event, besides maybe Shotzi at this point. I would say maybe Candice, but she is gonna spoiler alert, gonna be going against Io Shirai, but it's like they still don't push her like that. It's the women like Raquel and
Rhea Ripley,
and now the Toni Storm. Those are the ones who they really are pushing, like the main event women. But there is a lot, and the women's division is stacked. This promo's good, and William Regal, he was kind of thinking about, oh, I'm gonna, I saw how Candice, I don't want to get to it now, but I think they'll really, have a lot of good stuff planned for the women's division, including Ember Moon.
Oh yeah, well, that's what I mean, and then we're gonna see like a really, really good number one contenders matches because Ember Moon is gonna go with Toni Storm at some point. Ember Moon's gonna go with Candice at some point. Rhea Ripley, Dakota Kai. Like there is like so many like.
And there is reports that Mercedes Martinez was quietly taken out of Retribution, and she will show up again on NXT.
And that's fine because
and then because you think about it from her perspective, she's like, oh, all these like legit women come back, Toni Storm, Ember Moon, like I want to wrestle them.
Yeah, and and Mercedes Martinez, I don't think that like they're gonna like really push her, like in the main roster for to be like a really
they're not
contender, they don't have plans for her, so they're
not pushing any of the women in Retribution really. Have you seen Mia Yim at all on TV? No,
Mia Yim, like you said, they only put it there just because they needed her, to be next to Keith Lee.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not saying that she's not worthy enough. The problem is like, hey, they want to keep couples together. That's one of the initiatives that the WWE is pushing. So the superstars are a lot happier. Yes. So okay, Lucius go up, then therefore Mia as a default go up. So that's what it is. So this was a really good promo from Ember Moon. So now we're gonna go to like Jake Atlas. Jake Atlas is gonna be was fighting Ashanti the Adonis. And the good thing about this guy Ashanti is that like he's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the state that we live in. So like we are gonna support him from now on. Yesterday he was a loser. We didn't care. As soon as I heard Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, I'm like, legit. So like this match was like really quick. Like kind of featuring Atlas. Like he got the win. Like I think like they're trying to give this guy Adonis like a chance. I really think that that's what they're trying to do. But in the end, Jake Atlas finally gets a win because remember the stuff that happened with Tommaso Ciampa. That was not too good for him. I wanted like Atlas to look a little better. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But this he got the win. But like the most important thing is like Legado del Fantasma came out, Jean Paul, to attack Adonis, and because he got that promo in Santos Escobar, remember? And then he picked up over 31. So Atlas helped out. So they got like a big brawl right there with Legado del Fantasma. And at the end, Isaiah Swerve Scott came out because Santos Escobar was like by gorilla position, and he was just like watching the action. So in the end, you still see like the feud with the Cruiserweight Championship, is still on with Isaiah.
Yes, and can we predict next week a 6-man tag, or maybe at Halloween Havoc a 6-man tag? Because they haven't been doing cruiserweight storylines 2 weeks in a row. So maybe at Halloween Havoc 6-man tag.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Jean Paul. I can see that happening. Anytime. Absolutely right. But Jean Paul, and I gotta get the picture out so I get the reaction. I get your pop. There's gonna be news on the Cruiserweight Championship. So Jean Paul has to watch, and there's gonna be news. So like there's gonna be a really big Swerve Scott. It might happen. So we'll see what happens on that, Jean Paul. But now we got a little promo from the Garganos. Hey, we're like the moral champions. Moral because we don't have the titles, but we believe that we are worthy of to be a champion. So like then Gargano is gonna have a match against Austin Theory. It was a pretty good match. See the Gargano this time. The Garganos like used the big chunk of the show in their matches. And I think that was like the part that it was the best of NXT, just because they had really good matches. Gargano and Austin Theory, excellent match. And like you said, they keep punishing him. If you see that, if you notice that closely, every week he loses to a big name. He's just like, oh, that's what happens when you start sending your, pictures of your ding-ding to girls that are underage. That's what happens. First call. There you go. One in the ass. Then, another one in the ass.
Yeah.
Go on, that's what it's going to be. Dexter Lumis, another one in the ass. Don't send those ding-ding pics.
Kushida, done.
Down in the ass. See, that's what I mean. So that's what they keep doing. And did you like this match? I really enjoyed it.
It was good because, Johnny Gargano is a talented wrestler. Austin Theory, he looks better than Johnny Gargano as a wrestler. He's taller. He's more muscular. He's a hell of a wrestler himself. But like you said, it's, hey, if you want to play, you got to pay. And, he was doing something he shouldn't. So now, I like how commentary tries to be like, oh, yeah, he's, he isn't just getting squashed by these guys. He's putting on competitive matches with the top names of NXT. But at the end of the day, it don't matter how good the match is. It matters in the win-loss column. And, he has a lot of check marks in the loss column. So, but I mean, it's good matches. They'll definitely push him. He's getting punished, but at some point, like Triple H, with the curtain call or, whatever, it's like, okay, hey, you got punished enough. Now we're going to start pushing you again.
That's what it is. And exactly that's what it is. You just hit right in the nail. That's the bingo. You just hit, what is it?
Yeah, no, what is, like Bailey says, hello, ding dong.
Ding dong. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what it is because it's like they're just doing this to like kind of teach him a lesson. It's like,
Yep.
again, don't be sending ding ding pigs right in the
Yep.
ass. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
That's what it was, and Gargano just beat him. I like the last sequence though. Gargano really beating him up. Clotheslines, and then like a super kick, and then he set up for the last beat. Absolutely great. He sold the heck out of that. I love that move.
Mhm.
So really good. Gargano gets the win. So that was good. And now we go right away to like Ciampa had like a quick promo, kind of like seeing how he beat Jake Atlas. So we'll see what they do with Ciampa. Like they keep teasing something with the Velveteen Dream. I'm not interested in that. Those two are like.
I mean, unless they're gonna have, because Kushida, if you think about it, Kushida kicked his ass pretty good, and then Ciampa now, if they have Ciampa kick his ass like he did to Atlas, that could be a little punishment for the Dream too.
Maybe a little bit. One in the ass also.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
don't be doing that bullshit. All right, so
They should put them in the tag team together. They should do another Dusty Classic and put Austin Theory and the Dream together.
and should be the ones that like the asses one, because
Yeah,
they always
yeah.
one in the ass. Yeah, so I think so. And then they win. Jean Paul. Yeah. Let's go to number 1 contenders match, Jean Paul, for the NXT Women's Championship. Whoever wins is gonna challenge Io Shirai at Halloween Havoc, and it was Candice LeRae against our girl Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi, I sell my feces Blackheart. So this was good, and this match was extremely really great. These two women gave me a really great showing, especially Candice, how like she will sell, like when she couldn't pin, she couldn't put away Shotzi. That was really good. I like that, and the combinations that she did. There was one combination, Jean Paul, from the turnbuckle from the second, from the second rope, like she did like a German suplex. That was really great. Candice is evolving. Is becoming even a more intense wrestler, and I like that. Because before she was in the Riho category, I don't hit hard. Like I don't believe like the moves that I'm even doing, but now I can believe that Candice is really showing me the real wrestler that she is.
Oh yeah, I think once she turned heel, she's like, oh, now I can be really aggressive. Which, I mean, you can be that as a baby face, but that's not really the way they were portraying her. This match was really good. I liked it, only except there was one problem. To me, I already knew who the winner was going to be, because you're not going to have the host of the show also wrestle a match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Think about it. Like logically here, what is, the host of the show is going to be like, oh, okay, guys, next match is, oh, shit, hold on, excuse me, I got to go change,
Remember,
like,
you told me about RVD, Jean Paul.
Yeah.
He's like doing some 420. Oh,
Yeah.
He's in time for
he's out in the parking lot. They're like, dude, your music's playing. He's like, what? And then like runs in there and is like, yeah, they're already on the second loop of the 4-minute song.
Yeah, so like, yeah, that's what I mean. So like, you're right. I didn't even think about that, but like now that you pointed that out.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of this match. I was like, oh well, I mean, it's still good. Don't get me wrong, but it's one of the things that it's like, how can you really? You can't really enjoy something if you know who the winner is already.
Oh,
but it was still good.
And that's what Jean Paul remember.
And it was good because of the fact of how did Candice win this thing with the help of Indy Hartwell. She was in the crowd. She was like, what did she actually hand Candice? Something, and
it was like I think it was like the brass knuckle.
Like brass knuckles or something, like a roll of quarters, and she held it in her hand and like boom, 1, 2, 3, and I do like what we saw. I just touch on it now when Regal. He saw that this was bullshit, and he was talking to somebody, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna straighten this out. And then Xia Li comes up to him and is like, oh, I need a match. And he's like, yeah, I'll consider it. She's like, no, I really need a match. Boa was there. He's like, yeah, need a match. He's like, I'll consider it. So Xia Li's another one who, now that she's with Boa, the women's division is like really all over the place. But to go back to this with Candice, it's tough to say. It's like, how many times is she going to go against Io and lose?
Yeah. No, and
so it's like, do they pull the trigger now? And then, because, I mean, if Io's, she had a pretty legit run, and she could just be in the mix again. Hey, Rhea wasn't the champion for a while. You can still be featured legit and be in the mix and not as champion. So maybe that's what they do with Io. It's not like, oh, Io loses and is, oh, she's done.
I hope that they don't do that. We'll see. I mean, or like she can still be like, like you said, in contendership, because matches like, Amber Moon, and Toni Storm.
I would feud her with Toni Storm. I would have Toni, I mean, we'll get to her match in a little bit, and I think she's portrayed as a babyface right now. But I would have Toni be a heel and Io be a babyface. And
I actually think the opposite. I think that Toni's heel now. because just because of the change of theme song, like kind of like she looked a little different for me. But we'll see. But I agree with your point, and see right there, it was official. Candice gets the win. Like you said, there was a little bit of resentment from William Regal. He says he's going to straighten that out. But in 2 weeks' time, Halloween Havoc comes back to NXT or like to WWE, and it's going to be NXT Women's Championship match. Like you said, I don't think that like Candice should lose one more time. So this time, I think that what they're going to do, Jean Paul, is remember what Gargano said. We're going to win the titles at the same night. What better night than Halloween? When all the dark side, all the bad souls, all like everything that is supposed to be bad, supposed to collide and supposed to join and celebrate the darkness. And it's not about Star Wars. It's just, the souls and everything that is dark and Undertaker and Ozzy Osbourne. But I think that's going to be good. I hope that for Candice and Gargano, this is the night that they're supposed to fulfill their
yes,
promise.
especially if, and we'll just say it now, with stipulations in mind, because maybe a wheel of some sort will be making a return. So if this match gets a really legit stipulation, like maybe they do another steel cage match, or maybe something, it would be really good to see. So I'm excited for it.
I'm really excited. Absolutely right. Something that I'm even more excited, and you could see how excited I was, is the return of this woman, Toni. Cindy Storm. No, it's not Cindy, but it's like Toni Storm came back, Jean Paul. That was just my highlight of the show. I'm absolutely infatuated with this woman. There's not a single flaw. Well, there's one minuscule that like she dates a really bad wrestler called Juice Robinson. Yeah, you heard me saying it. He's a bad wrestler right there. She comes back and she was like of course this is her comeback show. Of course she's gonna win. And they put kind of like a Leah there. I don't consider Leah as such a jobber. But, I mean, they gave us some decent match. I think that it was okay, and it fit the purpose. Storm looked good. Aliyah, hey, you're going to have a showing with Storm, and that's all there is to it.
Oh, yeah, it's good to see Toni Storm's back. And I guess it's also good to see her front too, but
I keep the back.
But I mean, no, this all it was. It was her first match back, Aliyah, because you said Aliyah's not like a jobber, but she's kind of lower of the card. So Toni Storm beats her in a convincing fashion. Toni, or was it Tiger? No, what is Storm Zero? She called it, but it's like a Tiger Driver or whatever it is.
It is the Tiger Driver. Actually,
so it's like 1, 2, 3. So it's like 1, 2, 3, okay, she looks legit. But I don't like the theme music. I think that was changed because of the CFO. But, you could say it's like a heel turn maybe. But that's what I would like to see. But we'll see. Because she says, my time away, I got to thinking. It's like, hey, if you were a babyface and you were away and you were thinking, normally that means you're going to turn heel.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But
I think, and we saw, like you said, to Storm Zero. And, the pretty much her style is the same, the moves are the same, but I think that like you said, I think that's the wording of the things in the promo. I think she's just gonna be heel, and because you have too many baby faces also. Io is babyface, Rhea is kind of babyface, Amber is babyface. So what are you gonna do with her? You need to change her up.
That's what I mean. We'll see.
We'll see what happens, Jean Paul. But like, let's go to like the next announcement because it was a show that is always really stacked up. NXT always does that. Remember Raquel Gonzalez and Rhea Ripley? They had like a thing again, and Raquel is like, "Hey, you think that you run this place? You think that like you're the best woman here? Well, how about in 2 weeks Halloween Havoc? You and me have a match." And Rhea is like right there. That was a little dumb. Like he's just talking to the camera, and then you hear like 3 steps forward. Hey, what's it going? Hey, what are you saying? I'm like, really? Come on.
Yeah, I wish it would have been done like, you had one of them cut the promo earlier in the night, and then you would have been something like, William Regal's talking like Rhea Ripley, like, maybe going like, okay, yeah, blah, 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 like it's legit, subscribe to Rope Break, and then you have Raquel bust in and start beating her up. And then, that's how I would have did it, because I do like the intensity. I did like all like when they were yelling back and forth, and it seemed like all the little security guards and the refs and everything they looked like tiny little guys trying to hold these 2 giant women back. So I mean, it was legit. But I mean, like you said, it didn't make sense how it's just like, you're just right there, like I didn't see you coming. It's just
So it's like, Jean Paul, you freaking saw. You're like, you're absolutely. Let's do Halloween Havoc, Jean Paul. You and me, and you're just right by the corner. Like, really? You want to do it? I'm like, really? Come on. It's like, just do that a little better. But other than that, good stuff. And again, we have another match for Halloween Havoc. So it's going to be good. I really think that show is going to be good and probably can be a show that can be Dynamite. So, we'll see what happens because this week, of course, Dynamite went over it. Almost like 150,000. But like Jean Paul always says, it's true. they have their whole audience, they have the niche, so that's fine. We're not going to criticize. We're not going to say this show is better than the other. We enjoy both. We love both. We cover both. That's what we got to say on the matter. So right there, Jean Paul, the best team in the world. Killing Dane, Drake Maverick, they're so alike. They have like the same music. They dress the same. Like Jean Paul says, they look like a freaking tag team going against two freaking idiots that don't even know what wrestling is about. Imperium. No, I think the whole thing goes backwards, right, Jean Paul?
So I think you were hanging out with RVD or something.
Yeah, but yeah, because we're Monday Night Raw, baby. We're over there right now. So this was at least okay because the promos, they keep teasing it. How they're gonna be a tag team. Killing Danger, Maverick, the theme song. It's like, hey, where you should come out to the ring using this, using that, and it's like, we're ready for our match. And Killing Dane goes like, our match? He's like, yeah, Imperium. Oh my god, he stands up and he leaves. So the match was good though.
Yeah, the match I liked because it did the story. It was supposed to be, it's like, Killian Dane, when he was in there, he looked dominant, looked strong. Drake Maverick would tag himself in. Obviously, then the tide would turn back to Imperium. They'd kick his ass, and that was the reason why they lost this thing. And then then they beat him down afterwards, and I like that. And then I like when Killian Dane attacks them, and he's like, "Nobody beats you up but me."
Oh yeah, well,
you know what I mean. So then you see the bond is starting. So it's like
exactly. Yeah. That's the keyword. They won with the European powerbomb, really easy, like you said, because they pretty much isolate Maverick. They isolated Drake Maverick, so that's what they did. And then Everrise shows up, Jean Paul, and they start beating up Drake Maverick because of what happened last week with Killian Dane and Maverick doing the tag. And then, like you said, Killian Dane attacks both of them because he's big and strong that he can take both of them. And like you said, he goes, well, nobody hurts Maverick but me. So like you said, it's just that I think that this is what they're trying to do. At some point they're going to end up having the goal.
I wish they would do. I wish, because whenever Rise came out wearing the gear they were wearing, I wish they would have these guys grow their hair out into ponytails so they look like the Young Bucks. Because I feel like these guys are their jobbers.
Oh yeah,
it sounds like they job out the Young Bucks every night.
Oh yeah, and and I think there is there's a bootleg. Oh
yeah, because they wear the vests and shit and the leg, their gear and stuff. It looks right like a bootleg Young Bucks.
Oh yeah. It's a way to mock the Young Bucks. Yeah, pretty much. The Young Bucks look like bums right now. I don't know why they didn't even shave, and they have a lot of money. They've been throwing money every time they super kick the cameraman. They super kick, Tony. So I don't know what happens, but buy a good shape. What is it? Speed Steel or something like that. So just get that kind of look at yourself a little cleaner. But Jean Paul, let's go now. Like we said, to the main event. This was a really good match. I like this. It was for the North American Championship. It was our boy, the archery of infamy, right? It's the archery of infamy.
The archer of infamy.
Yeah, the Lance Archer of infamy. And that's because at least there's an archer, and it's not Lance Archer, because at least this guy can win. Yes. Because the other one, that's his finisher, and then gets rolled up in a crucifix and done.
Yep.
So that's what it is.
But that's what happens when you get booked against John Cena.
Oh yeah, John Cena. Oh yeah,
John Moxley.
John Moxley.
Excuse me.
Because if you will be booked against Dean Ambrose, you will
he would have beat him in 5 minutes.
In 3 seconds, yes. But John Moxley is just the version of his demon, Yeah. So Damian Priest goes against going back to reality. He goes against Dexter Lumis, and this match was pretty good. These two guys, Loomis look really good. I'm just still upset that they took away the theme song. Like you said, maybe something when it comes to the...
Oh, that's got to be CFO. That's got to be CFO.
That is hurting, NXT big time. At least I'll tell you on my perspective, that's hurting NXT big time.
I don't know what it was. Maybe he wanted to retire. He was done. But when they lost Jim Johnson, and then that to me was the start of the downfall, then these CFOs are so bullshit. And it's I don't understand it. It must be that there's a petty reason, because it's just pay him the money.
Yeah.
You don't act like Vince McMahon acts like he doesn't have any money. Just pay him.
Yeah.
The music's legit, and that's not just us being music marks. Everybody feels the same way.
Yeah, like you said, it's we need the music, because the music is what makes us like the wrestler.
Yeah.
If you don't believe Jean Paul or myself, how about what happened with Keith Lee when he came out the first time?
That's what I'm saying. It's not just us. You go on the internet and you look, everybody's like, dude, what's going on?
Yeah, everybody's just you lost that, and that was the best part of the thing. That's what we used to pop for, so I don't get it. But see, these two guys gave us a really good showing, and Loomis didn't look bad.
In these pictures, it looks like two guys at the bar that just took off their shirts and they're like, "You want to go?"
Yeah,
They look like they're wearing pants. It's
why
like
are you staring at my girl, you motherfucker? That's
yeah,
what
they're like, "You want to go?"
Yeah,
and then
that's-
Loomis is he's like, "I stare at everything, dude. I can't close my eyes. I haven't
Because
slept in 7 weeks."
because I live forever. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they went at it, but see, this was good. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, this was a good match though. But I mean, it was the storyline because you see right there Cameron Grimes, and you knew he was going to come up at some point, or at least if you have a brain, because it's like they're not going to just have Dexter Loomis lose clean.
Yes.
There's going to be a way to get out of this, and it was the ref was distracted.
Yeah.
Cave in, and then awakening 1, 2, 3. We have Cameron Grimes laughing his ass off on the outside. And then, of course, he eats an awakening for his troubles afterwards as well. And, it was good because I could see, maybe a fatal 4-way. Because take us through what happened then at the end of this.
Oh, yeah, well, like we said, see, our boy, the archer that matters, gets the win. And you're right. After that, he was attacked by Johnny Gargano because it was, again, confirmed that they're going to have a rematch at Halloween Havoc. And it's going to be these two, like we saw in NXT TakeOver 31. And he attacks, like, Archer with a... Not Archer. Oh, well, the Archer.
Yeah, close enough.
With a chair, and, like, he beats him up really bad. So, like, you see that the feud is still going. And they gave the best match of that night, Jean Paul, right? I just think that was...
Yeah, I really enjoyed that match. And see, I would like this to be a fatal 4-way. Put the other two guys in this thing, and I mean, at least unless they want to just do a solo feud, and then maybe let's say they put Cameron Grimes over, and then Cameron Grimes will beat whoever wins this thing and become the champ, because you got to put the belt on Cameron Grimes soon.
Oh yeah, no, Cameron Grimes needs the belt. Yeah,
I mean, Damian Priest, I don't want his title reign to end. I mean, but you could obviously give him the other title back, or who knows what's going to happen with Finn Balor.
That's what I was going to say. So you stole the idea from my.
Yeah, I knew it. I had to quick snatch it from you. I knew you were about to say it.
That's fine. No hurt on that. But like you're right. So like that's what like they could do easily. Archer of Infamy can be like the guy that like becomes the new NXT champion, depending on what happens with Finn Balor. But after that, Candice came out. Regal. There was a lot of like things happening, and then William Regal gave us the last, revelation, the last piece of news, and that was like that our host Shotzi Blackheart is actually gonna be spinning the wheel. The Wheel of Fortune is back, and they're gonna have stipulations for both of those matches. For Eos and Candice, and also for Garganos and Damian Priest, they're gonna have stipulations that both of them are gonna have to like spin the wheel.
If I could make I really like this. I like all of this, but if I could make one request, can every match be a stipulation? Now I know that people might be like, "Oh, well, that kind of kills it," but I mean, it's Halloween Havoc. You know what I mean? It's not like a Hell in a Cell, and it's like, "Oh, every match doesn't deserve Hell in a Cell." Yeah, that I agree with, but this is just Halloween. It's just every match should just be spooky, or you know what I mean? Have a stipulation because it's Halloween.
I agree. I agree. So that was like Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids. Yeah,
exactly. That's his closing words, folks.
Yeah, that's closing her. Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids. I'm looking forward, like you said. I want to see like kind of like crazy spots. I want to see like the theme of Halloween being.
I want to see somebody. There needs to be a debut or somebody coming back. Somebody something.
You already teased it, so it might be El Idolo. It might be. He might or Bo Dallas because we keep
no that's done. That's done.
Living because maybe he was in the backside of like Ember Moon's like motorcycle.
No. Ember Moon was like, "Hey, could you do me a favor and can you tweet to like hype this up?" But like, really, you're just gonna live in catering, and he's like,
absolutely right. So Jean Paul, this ends it for NXT today. I think it was a really good show, and you said it's solid enough to keep us wanting more. It's not like going to that weaker side that was like so.
Yes.
Like it's flat. So it's actually good. So, thank you so very much for watching the review, family. Let us know in the comments, hey, what do you guys think about these stipulations that have been added to what Halloween Havoc is going to be? And, let us know what you guys think about Finn Balor, about Io Shirai, and Candice LeRae one more time. So remind Jean Paul, please, everybody, where they can find us in the social media world.
You can find us on Facebook under Rope Break, Twitter, the OG Rope Break, Instagram, the original Rope Break, right here on YouTube for the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the original Rope Break, and also on everythingentertainment.com.
That's when, everything right there, we're going to have even like Jean Paul and I, the journals from Jean Paul, the journals from Juan, the road to Halloween Havoc, the road to like Hell in a Cell, Bound for Glory, every single pay-per-view we're going to be writing a little bit. in that place. So, family, thank you so very much one more time. Next time we find each other, it will be SmackDown and also NXT UK, and we have a little bit more planned for the weekend, so stick around. So, Jean Paul, you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is.